Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. I see the cycle that couples get caught in a lot of times, and they keep going back and forth, and it's this constant back and forth of blaming, one person for this, and then, well, because you did this, I did that, because you said this, I said that, and because you behaved this way, I behaved that way back. And it's just this constant, never ending cycle. And so what happens is that a lot of my clients that I see to do one-on-one sessions with are saying that they're made to feel like it's their fault that their partner cheated on them, or it's their fault that their partner is addicted to adult content and self-pleasure instead of, working to build intimacy in their relationship. So the blame is being put on them as they're the reason why this problem exists in the relationship, when it's really the other person who should be taking more of the responsibility, and then doing the work in order to repair, right? But repair can't happen if the person who's doing the damage isn't taking ownership for their role in that damage. And yet that's what I'm seeing play out all the like a lot of times in my clients, in their relationship, so that they've gotten caught in this cycle where there's a lack of intimacy, and then there's a fight over the lack of intimacy, and yet the things that would improve the intimacy are the things that they keep fighting. You know what I mean? So they just go back and forth, right? So I could be more intimate with you if you were showing me more love and affection outside of the bedroom. And then the other person's like, but I'm not feeling loving and affectionate towards you because I'm not getting this need met. And, so it's a back and forth. And then, a lot of times when there's an addiction involved, the person who has the struggle with the addiction is going to use whatever they have at their disposal to deflect and to protect themselves in that situation. And a lot of times what this does is that it puts the blame on the other person. If you had been more if you had been more willing to be intimate with me, I wouldn't have had to turn to, self-pleasure. Or if you would just do these things that I ask, then I wouldn't have to watch it. Or, if you were just more available, or if you hadn't said no. So, there's so many ways in which it gets flipped. But the reality is that it takes two to tango, and it would take two people to fix that relationship. And the person who has the addiction has to be willing to take ownership for that addiction. Otherwise, nothing's going to change. And pointing blame and shaming each other is not going to fix the issue. So we each need to know how we're showing up in our relationship, what part we play. We need to work on the part that we play in things. And then we need to recognize the part that our partner plays and what work they need to do. And then have them, make that a boundary in our relationship, so that if things aren't going to change, then you either need to accept that, or you need to figure out a way to move on, right? Because most of the time when I see clients, they've tried so many different things, right? They've reached sort of the end of their rope. If they could have fixed it, they would have fixed it already. So if they could have moved past the cheating, they would have done so already. If they could have helped their partner to, quit, overusing adult content, or You know, if they could have fixed that in their relationship, they would have already. So by the time they come to me, they're usually feeling like they've hit a brick wall and they're looking for answers. And really, the answers lie within us, and yet they're so hard to get to the root of, because the kind of work that we need to do is the kind of work that would help us get in touch with our subconscious and to the deeper parts of us that are holding on to those answers, that are holding on to clues that would help us understand ourselves better and probably show up with more understanding and compassion for the other people in our lives as well. And we're going to need that in order to heal ourselves and or heal our relationship. So if you're struggling and you've reached that wall, you've hit the brick wall of, I've tried everything to, figure out how to love myself more, or how to create boundaries in my relationship, or those sorts of things. If you come up against that wall of, I've tried everything to save this relationship, I don't know what else there is to do, I don't know what to do now. And that's where a lot of people, that's where a lot of my clients are when they come to see me. And through the work that we do together, they get the clarity and they get the answers that they need. And sometimes that answer is move on. And sometimes that answer is to, find the answers within themselves to set boundaries in the relationship and to gather the resources that they need in order to move through whatever they're going through, right? Because some of it is, that lack of knowledge of themselves, and some of it might be a lack of resources and knowledge that could help take them to that next step. So if you need help, please feel free to private message me. We can have a little chat over Messenger, or we could even just get on a free consultation call and see if the work that I do could be beneficial to you at this stage in your journey. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Namaste.